where people aren't quite dead yet. Chat couldn't settle on a single character that they felt was good. There was some lukewarm response toward the rug being the new favorite character. Try to throw that one out there. What's happening? You've all been pulled outside the room with this plate mail. The door's shut. After about an hour, you all begin waking up ish.
Oh, what happened?
We almost got him that time, didn't we? I knew it.
It was close.
You realize you've only hit this thing once.
Not a fan of that kind of dwarven craftsmanship, not gonna lie.
I mean, we've only each got like 1 hit point now, right?
Yes.
I've got 5.
I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, let's take on a dragon or something.
Do we want a long rest or short rest? Like
long.
Yeah, I say we go inside the office, kind of barricade the door, and then power nap.
There's a dead guy in there. I'd rather not.
I mean, what's stopping us from leaving the dungeon, do a long rest, and come right back?
Because last time we did that, everything changed.
Yeah.
That's what happens when the Fire Nation attacks.
We just want to head back to town.
It does.
Let me say about going back to town. I know, like, I'm typically very much a people person. I don't think I left the barkeep lady with the best impression, though. So
you don't say.
It's pretty shocking. I don't know why she didn't respond to my usual winning charm, but she didn't. Am I losing my touch? Guys, be honest with me.
No, she's just smarter than most.
I look around at the people, at everyone, and say, and think to myself, I'm not sure everyone can make a trip back to town in our current state. If we're all at 1 HP, we're all just barely holding on to life, and like making a trek down a mountain, kind of risky.
Anything we encounter is going to be.
Yeah, I say we hold up, and
just to be clear, it's not that you might not be ambushed. It is, however, daylight, and the outside of the mountain is only a few hundred feet from town. It's not like you have to climb down a mountain, right? You just go through some fields and orchards, and you're back at the inn.
Okay.
I want to be clear, though, like, as you're leaving, you could definitely be ambushed. You've made enemies of dogs.
If nothing else, we should take a short rest and regain our hit points.
That would be a wild idea. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus, we left that butler hanging around. He's pissed, I'm sure. And
he's still tied to a chair, right? Did the boss untie him?
We don't know necessarily.
We don't know, yeah.
Do we need to go check, or can
I don't think he did.
I mean, we didn't hear that he did.
He definitely did not.
Okay. He's still tied up there.
Are you going back to check?
Not right now.
Then you have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
He can stay there for an hour or so. He'll be fine.
Well, so what's the difference between long rest and short rest?
So
long rest is 8 hours and requires you to get some food and drink. Short rest is 1 hour of just hanging out.
Well, we all have rations, right? We can sort of camp out and try and recover our full health.
As long as you're okay with strapping an old man to a counter for 8 hours.
I mean, it's not going to bother me. He seemed like kind of a dick.
Well, what do we get for the short rest?
You regain your hit points. The short rest, you can spend hit dice. So you can spend you can roll your whatever your health level is in hit dice. So what class are you? Fighter. You'd roll like a D10 or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we do long rest here, then we're going to be stuck in the mountain overnight, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be night.
Well, we can hash that out after the hour, but we definitely need to regain some hit points.
Yeah, I definitely do the short rest.
7, hell yeah.
All right, you guys stop, sit down in the room, just chill out for a little while.
We talk about our battle plan, who's going first, who should go last in a scenario which we have to go single file. You know, it's that kind of stuff. Managerial things.
Rik-Jaxx, do you have any hit points you want to recover?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because I
you
was
can.
at 5.
Yeah, you can roll your hit dice amount. While
just
all of you are recovering, after about a half an hour in, a figure of smoke appears in the middle of all of you. So it just, there's like a instant weird disc of smoke, and then from that, a figure emerges, also made in smoke, but occasionally, like, its robes are trimmed with little flames. So where the robes would normally be a different color than black, there's like little dancing flames. It's super weird to watch. It's like a wireframe.
Interesting.
A full-sized human wearing kind of very rich robes that move along with him wherever he goes, and a forked beard steps around, runs a hand over his shaved head, and then brings his hands into like a weird pose in front of him and says, "You stand before the wizard Mardrovian, the chancellor of the Fellowship of the Finding. In other words, I am the overseer of your party. I realize this is the first time we have spoken directly. Now, normally, it would be courtesy to bow on one knee before a lord such as me. However, you are all resting now, so please remain where you are seated."
Oh, thank God, because I don't think I can stand up. I'm really, really exhausted. Hey, like, you can say no. Feel free to say no. Like, do you just have like a couple bucks you could throw our way, you know, for stuff and reasons?
From time to time, I have been scrying on your travels in order to make sure that you are all right, or at the very least still living. But I received an emergency summons from my local oracle that some foul undertaking had happened to you, Mortrick, in particular, that you had received a great misfortune.
Oh, like you would not believe. I am glad to hear that the situation is being taken care of.
The Fellowship of the Finding, or as it is more commonly known, the Fellowship of Saint Mercia Ravenaver, does not have the funds to cover your debt.
Could it help at least? I'm starting.
I will cover it
Gold fund me
personally, out of my own pocket.
Oh wow! Thank you.
In
Thank you.
exchange
Oh no.
for you finishing finding the Flute of Fascination.
That seems fair. Okay. Yeah.
It is a great deal of money, so I hope that you will continue to remain with our organization as a long-term investment. You are a very skilled individual, Mortrick, and it would be very difficult to replace you.
Well, you know, those
Please
skills.
don't feed his ego. We've had enough of that.
I'll let you finish.
But you can be replaced.
Gulp.
As I said, it would be difficult, but a wizard has means.
Does a wizard have means to procure some type of potion?
I am afraid, as you can see in my current form, I am merely casting a shadow of a flame upon your location. It will rely upon your resourcefulness, although from my understanding on my scryings, you are already in considerable debt with this town.
Not me per se, but my companions, yes.
My apologies. I tend to treat adventuring groups as one singular entity composed of a single mind.
It's okay. It happens.
Can I just say, I feel like the town is in debt to us. Like, they don't understand.
It is that unique outlook upon life which makes you so indispensable to your party. Truly, in order to understand the minds of villains, you must have one to use.
I suppose that's fair again, yeah. Man, this guy's really got my number. He is good.
I am a wizard.
So, if you've been watching us, are we on the right track here? Is this...
It would seem that you have found a clue. I would love to be able to investigate directly with you. However, there are 4 other items out there in the world, and my efforts must be maintained in not only finding them, but maintaining my own businesses and helping maintain the balance of the world's power.
Busy guy. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yes, indeed. So he takes his hands and makes that gesture again and then bows towards you.
Okay. Yeah, I bow. I kneel.
So, do you have a lead, a key, something specific?
It seems that you are the one who has the lead. This bard, Halleck, in town.
Yeah.
The one whom you have put yourself in debt towards for solving this town's problems.
Yeah, we still have that scroll.
Were I there in person, I might be able to read his mind, but again, I am quite busy.
We just got the one scroll from him, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
We
We
already
haven't used it yet, I don't think.
Oh, you used it.
we used it last time.
Yeah,
You used the shit out of it.
Okay.
That thing is ashes and dust in the wind.
It's done been used.
Which was that was 150 gold pieces or something, right?
Yeah, it's like 100 gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
nothing.
You think he'd want one of these rugs in exchange for that?
So when you say that, he looks at the rugs and says, I must confess, it is difficult to make out the detailing on the rugs. They appear as shadow and flame to me. But I do not suspect that a rug will match a priceless scroll of healing. Unless it is a very fine rug. Or if it is a rug of smothering. In which case I would pay you heftily for it.
You could smother some. It might take a little. You know what? Look,
A rug of smothering is a construct, not unlike that animated armor that you have in the other room. It attempts to smother you. It's very straightforward, just like the
Since
armor.
we're not dead yet, I'm assuming it's not a rug of smothering.
Yeah.
Well, you won't know until you touch it.
I've already touched it.
But there are many rugs in that other room.
Have you touched all the rugs? Don't touch my rugs. I'm serious.
Mardrovian cracks a small smile and says, My time lays short. The flame grows dim. Are there any questions you have for me before I am away?
So we need to go talk to Gurney about where.
I'm sorry, I don't know who you're speaking of. I am only able to scry on you for a short amount of time each day, so I don't know everyone in town.
So we're gonna go talk to. Did Halleck tell us something else?
No, we have to defeat the people. We have to save the town, and then he'll help us. So we have to.
Right. So we clear this out before we. So we are looking at this thing taking us the rest of the week. Yeah. All right.
No, thank you. We don't have any questions at this time. I think. I can't think of any questions anyway.
What? You're just going to speak for the group like that? That's really rude. I mean, at least give the other people a chance to ask questions.
Well, no one's talking up, so
No questions. No questions here.
All right, the smoke just whoosh, settles back down into a disc and then dissipates.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I feel like this is going really well. We are really starting to make some progress here.
I'd appreciate another half an hour of you not talking.
1 half an hour later.
All right, so we're going to head back to town then?
We have most of this. Well, not most of this explored.
We still have the boss to take out, the general and several goblins.
Was this not the general?
No.
No, this was the mini boss.
This was the mercenary captain who organizes the whole thing, but he's not actually tied to organizing this settlement.
We still have the bear there too. Yeah. I mean, if we can avoid killing a defenseless animal, that would be great.
Well, that was a nice change of attitude.
Yeah, let's head back to town and rest up.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, are we gonna put this up for a vote?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, you head back to town.
What time is it now?
When you get back to town, it's slightly afternoon.
Okay.
Are the dogs still there?
The dogs are gone.
The dogs were gone when we came back in this time.
That's correct.
Gotcha.
When you get back to town, things seem lively in town. For the first time since you've come, people are talking, but the thing they're talking about is the other adventuring party. So the other adventuring party came in, and you can hear them. They said everything was fine in there. That we're good now. That the bad guy has been killed. The villainous swine who watched over us is dead. At their hand, boy, those sure are some great adventurers, aren't there?
Let's slow our roll there. I mean,
Someone
they're not all...
picks an apple off a tree and tosses it to you, Mortrick.
I'm like, damned if that isn't delicious. Those guys are pretty sweet.
Friend, you can have your own opinion if you'd like, but it seems that your troubles here are over. The other adventuring party told us how they sauntered into the enemy keep, destroyed the evil fiend holding you hostage, and thus ended the threat to the town forever.
Did they tell you that we loosened the lid first? I mean, they didn't do all the work. We helped.
Canning hasn't been invented yet.
Substantial amount.
It won't be for hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with this place.
Yeah, it's a dope technology, that cannery. That's how tomatoes got popular as a food.
Assuming it was the dwarf that told you that.
I would lock your doors tonight. I don't think the issue is at an end.
So when you say that, the two men you're talking to like turn towards you, kind of surprised. Make a persuasion check.
All right.
Unsurprisingly, they're shocked to hear that the problem isn't over. Once they were told by some big, strong adventurers that look super badass.
See? You don't want to just believe.
Wow, 0. Amazing.
How can you roll 0?
How can you kill that which has no life? All right. Yeah. You tell these guys don't believe it, right? And immediately they both start cracking up and move away, and loudly you can hear them talking about your party, right? Like it's not like the rudest thing that's ever happened, but they're just like, yeah, those other guys seems like they still want to be the heroes, but everybody knows that Goliath solved it all with one swing of his mighty weapon.
They're just jealous.
Was that you, Runa? Did you actually just like move up into the crowd and just say that to start some shit?
That's what they're thinking.
Okay.
I'm gonna pat Kazador on the shoulder and be like, there, guy. It's all right. They didn't mean it.
I never was very convincing. The truth will bear out, though.
His voice.
That fool with the hammer. I mean,
Kaz, I think we have to learn to accept the truth at some point. Is that maybe they were right? Maybe those are like. I mean, damn. You got to give credit where credit is due. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Udak would say something different about Umbor dropping that hammer on his head.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was pretty amateur, but like, what can you expect from like a low-level barding college? You know, they can't afford the best.
Yeah, well, if we ever encounter them in town, I suggest you bring that up, because that might still be a sore point between those two.
Believe I will.
Wow, guys. Way to keep it in character and not meta at all.
Right.
You make it back to the inn with little problem. However, news of your failures has spread in front of you.
I mean, I feel like failure is a harsh word. It's a work in progress. But still, I think one of you guys should probably talk to the innkeeper lady.
Talk to the bard. Maybe there's more info we need from him.
Halleck is not in the inn when you arrive. In fact, none of the travelers are in the inn or any adventurers, nor are there any equipment beyond Hallex still left there. The only person inside the inn is the inn's master, Ares.
They've all left because they said they handled it.
Or they've all been murdered by another group in another door. That seems complex.
So when Ares sees you all walk in, she says, well, if you want food and room for the night, it's 2 silver pieces each.
All right, well,
Seems a lot cheaper than the last time we were here.
Well, before it was an emergency. Now things are open and heroes have come.
We've been here for 3 days, lady.
Are there rooms available, or is the floor?
She looks around and says, do you see any rooms?
No rooms in an entire town.
If you want to speak with any of the townsfolk and try to get a room, I won't stop you. But if you're looking for food, boiled pork and whey cheese is on the menu tonight.
And it sounds delicious.
Kazador tucks in, gets ready, gets out his knife and fork that he has on his belt. I'm ready. I'm hungry after killing that Duragar.
I like your style. And she sets down a tankard in front of you and says, on the house.
All right.
It's called Perry. It's made out of fermented pears. We get it from Pear Valley.
Where is Pear Valley? That place
apple around here.
Pear Valley is south of here. 2 mountain ranges over.
Pears always have been my favorite fruit.
Well,
I
good.
think it's similar to Perrier.
All right. Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
similar to Perrier, except alcoholic and tasty.
Yeah, I'm sort of tired of traveling all day. I'll put my 2 silver down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, 2 silver. Yeah, I'll throw in.
Well, we had 20 silver from the
Do we-
Duragar. And
So the Duragar had 2 gold pieces and
And
200
200
silver.
200 silver.
yeah. So we
Yeah,
split that
so
up.
you know what, you guys put your money away. I got this one. So I'm gonna take
So when you begin pulling out a bag filled, overflowing with silver, right? She's like, oh, looks like adventuring has done well for you.
you know, we've had some ups and downs today.
Well, normally I don't serve very much extra alcohol, but I'm willing to give you more than 1 tankard if you pay by the bottle or the keg.
How much a bottle? Or a keg?
2 silver pieces for a gallon.
I'll buy 4 of those.
You
And-
buy 4 gallons of alcohol. All right.
That's just for him. That's just for him.
We just ran out of mead. Someone blew through and ordered all of it, but I've still got some dwarven bitter here.
No, we'll hold off on that. That wasn't so good last time. Yeah, I share with the group.
Cider? Apple cider then. Fermented? Hard?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. She brings you out 4-gallon containers. Yeah, they're pretty sizable, tight wooden containers.
Yeah. All right. I share it with the
drink-
party.
They smell good, man. It smells like somebody added some sugar to that shit. There's a little bit of cinnamon in there as well. Just kind of wafts out of the bottle. Well, container.
I think we need to celebrate, guys. This has been tough so far, but
Celebrate not dying.
yeah, yeah.
Our tremendous victories. Yeah.
That's the best way to. That's the best way to seal the deal here.
Participation trophy of adventuring.
I mean, that boiled pork isn't the best food you've ever had, but the cheese is all right. But more importantly, this alcohol is cool. It's not cold, but it is cool, which is quite different from the room temperature beer you've been being served every day you've been here.
All right, so
I take a huge swig, which is like the entire tankard, because I've almost died at least a handful of times in the last
Yeah.
3 days.
Right.
It is delicious.
I put my tankard towards our party here, towards Kaz.
You gonna pour one of these gallon containers into that tankard?
How big is a tankard?
How Well, I mean, you might have your own tankard, right? Like, you can get one of the house ones, or maybe you have one that you carry on your belt or something.
Yeah, I was going with
How
that.
big is your tankard? Does it come in pints?
It comes in a triple pint.
Oh boy. Is it wide triple or tall triple?
Both. It's like twice tall, but like once wide.
Okay, interesting.
Kind of like a what's it called?
A beer stein?
No. Oh yeah, like a larger beer stein.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, beer steins are pretty big. I got 2 back on the shelf behind me.
Yeah, they're big.
Yep. Yeah. No, I mean,
lids, you know.
oh, it's not that the glass frosts over, right? But it does kind of get a little shine on the outside of your tankard as the cool of the alcohol begins exchanging with the warm summer air.
I'm gonna take my drink outside if I can.
Oh, it's wonderful out there. You
Yeah.
have never felt more alive than being brutally beaten to death and then taking an hour's rest. Your body aches. Mortrick is talking in the background, but it smells
That's why I went outside.
wonderful out here. I mean, this alcohol is cool. You've been fed some passable pork and some delicious cheese, and there are children running around. People are happy and celebrating. It looks like they're setting up a pole in the center of town and having an impromptu festival. Banners are being put out, and they're erecting a pole, and several people like see you come over, and they're like, "Ha-ha! Well met, young lady. Have you considered the dance later? Perhaps one of our strapping young lads or lasses might catch your eye. Or," and like the guy comes over and like looks at your bicep and is like, "Perhaps you'd like to do the log toss. You seem like a healthy lass."
Tell me more about this log toss.
Well, we take the biggest logs that we can find and we throw them as far as possible.
And the outcome being
You win the prize.
reputation. Oh, prize.
Yep.
What kind of prize?
This year, Bacchusson is offering 1 item from his armory to anyone who can beat him at the throw. It is rumored that his armory is extensive, but he hasn't lost 20 years.
There's first year for everything.
I've been watching from the inn, and I sort of start wandering over as I see this like enthusiastic discussion.
Aha! Well met,
Wow.
Master Dwarf.
What is this? What's going on?
We're holding a festival to celebrate the end of our troubles. Now that our folk are safe, and even you are free from the clutches of that vile Durigar, it's time to have the maypole erected. Been too long since we have celebrated.
Well, I'm not going to stop a good thing from happening. So I tried to tell you guys that. Well, I tried to.
No. I like butt in right there. It's like, don't spoil the moment.
Yeah. All right.
I'm inside the inn, nursing my tankard, having eavesdropped and be like, I threw a stupid log. Why don't they ask me? Oh, just because you're so
Are you actually sobbing in the inn? Ares comes over with a little cloth and is like, there. Everything's better now. Now that the men have come and made things safe, you'll be all right.
Do you know where the post office is? I need to mail a letter.
We don't have a post here. And all of the merchants left earlier today. It will perhaps be a week or more until another cart comes along.
Yeah, then I just sob quietly inside to myself.
I'm gonna die.
I'm too young and pretty to die.
So is the pole toss is today or?
Yes, it's later today.
I will be there.
Yeah, same.
All right. They don't like ask you guys to help things get set up. To be clear, you're guests in their town. But they don't mind if you watch them while they erect like a gazebo very quickly so that people can dance around it. Someone does saunter over, a grandmotherly type with deeply tanned skin, kind of like a Mediterranean mix. She definitely is not a local. There's no way she is of the same general ethnicity or even like skin tone of the people around here. She says, travelers as well, I see.
Yes, ma'am.
You perform at all? Perhaps musical instruments? Is there a singer among you? Or perhaps I've heard that there might be a bard among your number.
Let me introduce you. Mortrick!
No need to yell, young woman. You can just escort me over there.
What's going on? Do you need help, Runa? I'm here. Ooh, who's this?
Are you then a singer?
Singer, I feel like
we're looking for performers to help out with the festival tonight.
Yes.
We've lost several of our young folk.
I can do that. No, perform. So, I mean, I've got a variety of acts I can do. What are you looking for?
Acts from a play. What play do you specialize in?
Oh, acts. I can remember one from school. When is the performance taking place?
Oh, well, I'm sad to say, but you're one of the only performers we have. If you could be ready in the next hour or two, we would appreciate it. But
or two, yes, I can be ready in an hour. So I'm gonna go back inside the inn. And desperately start rummaging through Halleck's stuff for something I could perform at the show.
So Runa, this woman begins patting your arm and says, Your partner seems very confident. You all have done so well for yourselves to find an adventuring party of travelers and...
Gets old after a while.
Adventuring? It does. I was an adventurer once as well.
You don't say.
I settled down here. Well, they used to call me Two Clawed Death Fist.
No.
From the Eastern Isles. You'd never know it, but I was once a very strong martial artist. So she like, ha, 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 and like, she still got it. Like, she could definitely whoop your ass very easily. Her kicks are like lightning.
Show me more.
She uses a completely different style of martial arts from you.
I know.
So everything she does is entirely kick base. And is about fluid motion. It's like kickboxing capoeira.
Awesome.
There's a lot of like rolling on the floor, except it's outside and it's dirt. She just shoulder rolls through it perfectly, no problem. Then at one point she like stops, comes out of the roll and like grabs her hip and says, I never did achieve ageless body. Wasn't a powerful enough monk, and I just gave up my studies at some point and just settled down in the last place we ended. My party went different directions. Husband stayed with me, but you know how it is. Races age at different speeds. He died, and I'm still here. I try to help train the young folk, but they always want to run off to a different town, get an education, look for opportunities. Don't remember the traditions that made this town what it is. Sometimes I feel like I've lived my whole life here.
How long have you been here?
40 years or so. I know for a fella like you, doesn't seem like that much, but for a human, it's a long time.
What's your name?
Isabella.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you. You can call me Isabella Deathclaw.
I will. Can you teach me?
I don't think so. You seem very drunk.
No, see, like, I got moves, see?
You seem to have the rudiments of martial arts down, but we only have a few hours and you're drunk. I I think you might be very limber, but you might not remember any of what I teach you.
Maybe next time.
Perhaps, if you'd like to sit with me and meditate, I can try to impart upon you some of my knowledge.
I'm good at that. Let's do that.
All right, let's just sit down here. Just
Take a while.
breathe in the mountain air. Open yourself up to the apples. Smell
Drink a
the
little
fresh grass. Stop drinking. Concentrate fully on the here and now. So Connor, while Mortrick is running away, Rik-Jaxx is still at the inn. You're just left. Everyone around you is moving in different directions, and two women have just sat down on the ground in front of you and are like breathing in and out very heavily.
I, look sideways, start drinking my drink, and just kind of, peruse around the town and see what else is going on.
Okay.
I hand my drink to Kaz. Here.
All right, I will be double fisting at this festival. I gotta get powered up for this
Twice the
log
size
toss.
of yours.
There are several people who notice a dwarf wandering around two-fisting, and they're like, yeah. That's a guy who knows what's up. Yeah, like, I wish I could be half the dwarf he is. There's a lot of
And you'd
like,
be a gnome.
yeah. I don't think that's true. I mean, you could be like a half dwarf, right? Half of a mountain dwarf is called a hill dwarf, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, hill dwarf racism, Joe. They're setting up an archery range, like a wrestling area that they're cordoning off. So they don't have like a proper area, so they're cutting grass, tall grass, and setting it down as like a mat so that people don't hurt themselves falling on the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna observe the town. I'm gonna say, okay, I'll help them organize their various like pits. And, like,
Oh, when you say that, like everyone you talk to is just super Canadian. They're just like, oh no, no, you're an honored guest. We couldn't possibly allow you to do this. Every time you try to interject, someone is like, you just talk to my husband over there. He'll get you some meat off the grill. You just put your feet up. You've been, yeah. At some point, you get a minder who just follows you around, and she's just like this sweet housewife, mid-30s, hair starting to go a little gray, wearing an apron, just follows you around everywhere, and it's just like, you've had such a fright, dear. You've had such a fright. You just sit down right over here. I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'll tell you everybody's name, but we can't have you working. You've done so much for us.
Well, I offer her my tankard in thanks.
All right.
As a share.
She like goes to sniff it and is like, oh, okay, yep. We're just gonna put that over there. She like turns to her husband and is like, if you need anything to help reignite the grills, just take it out of that. Rik-Jaxx, what's happening with you?
I'm just drawing in the end.
All right.
Think, you know what? I'm really curious on going to check out that guy's forge. The guy who's making swords. Yeah, I'd like to go hang around there for a bit. See
All right.
if I find anything.
You head to Backason's. It looks like he's wrapping up, doing some inlay work on that magic sword he forged earlier out of his own blood. When he sees you approaching, he calls out and says, I heard that the maypole is being erected.
Yeah, the whole town's going to celebrate. They're celebrating for a farce.
Do you think that the evil has not been defeated yet?
No, I don't know why the other party said that it was, but there's still much more that we got to take care of.
So he's got like a little tiny chisel and is just like inlaying some silver onto the basket of this hilt and goes, well, whether that's true or not, you have taken responsibility for this task, yes? Otherwise you would not be here.
That's true. We're trying to get the job done.
Then allow these people to celebrate. Perhaps you can even challenge me at the timber throwing contest. You seem very small, but perhaps you have some power behind you.
It's not quite my thing, but I have a couple of friends that will be more than willing to give it a try.
Well, I'm offering any one item that is not spoken for out of my armory to the winner.
All right, I've got nothing to lose. I'll give it a go.
Nothing to lose but pride when I crush you.
I've been crushed so much lately that I can
So he blows off the silver shavings and then hangs the sword up on the wall and then like makes a gesture towards it. It seems kind of arcane, almost as if he's used magic somehow, and then begins walking towards you and says, "It's time then." He takes off his heavy smith's apron and his gauntlets and just like throws them into the air and then makes another gesture and they begin floating over towards the hooks. So he's like walking one way. The gauntlets and all of his gear are going the other way. And he says, "Let's go then. The contest begins when I arrive."
So I'll do one last look at his magic items because those are sure tempting, but I'll go with him.
All right. The whole party is aware of Bacchusson rolling up. It is super obvious that this guy is pretty famous in town. He ignores all of it. He doesn't give a shit. He's like the anti-Mortrick. He's greeting people, but it's not like a politician. Like, he's just like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" People are like, "Yeah, you should be teaching me stuff." And he's like, "You're not ready yet. Come back in another 10 years. Who wants to participate in the log throwing contest?
I do.
I am.
Looks like everybody. All right. Let me ask you all, what kind of logs are you getting ready to throw here? Talking like the biggest, fattest log you can find, like maybe a particular type of wood.
Wait,
they had logs like set up for us already.
Yeah, you can pick from them, but each of the logs is of a different size and shape.
Interesting.
Well, these are all probably apple tree logs, right? Like
Yes.
Apple tree.
Yep.
So I'm gonna
Matter which
Google.
one we pick. Which one does he pick?
He's looking at a very big one. It's not the biggest, but it is the tallest.
Try to find one close to that.
All right. Yeah, there's another one next to it. When you move up next to him to like look at it, he's like, You lift?
I'm gonna wait to see which log Runa picks up, and then I'm gonna try and pick up a log of similar size.
All right. So now all three of you are standing next to each other looking at pretty similar logs. And he looks at
like the smallest log available.
Yeah, so you go down to like the child section.
Yeah.
No one stops you. They don't know how old you are. They're not an expert in deep gnome. Nobody is.
I sort of pick one just at random. I'm not gonna.
All right. Yeah, you get.
I just kind of.
It's considerable size, but it's not huge.
Yeah.
As you're all lining up, Bacchusson turns to Mortrick and goes, "Do you lift?"
No, but I have a really great tincture for hernia, so I think I'll be fine.
All right. Okay. Let's all make athletics rolls with strength.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, I got crappy strength anyway. Oh, but athletic rolls. Okay.
Well, it's looking like Kazador's pretty good.
Oh, I rolled the wrong thing.
Can you beat a 15? No. Runa goes to toss and then just belches. And then the log falls forward. Runa, you feel the intense need to vomit. This alcohol is just not settling in your stomach. Maybe it's something about the spice blend.
Stupid apples.
People meet it with mirth and joy. Someone comes over and like slaps you on the back and offers you a cool watered cloth to like wash your face off and oh, hair of the dog that bit you then. Like hands you a flask of what is very clearly apple brandy.
I grab it out of his hands and I take it.
Ah. Okay, well then. Your father taught you that, did he?
I need that.
Oh, I thought you were done. I thought you wanted to meditate.
Trying to throw this log.
I thought we were done.
And I try to pick up the log again.
Yeah, I mean, you get it, but everybody's already proclaimed Kazador the winner.
So, yeah. All right.
Backusin is shocked. I haven't lost in years. Yes, Backusin is the armory owner. He's the
Backusin's the guy you just followed from the armory.
What a time to roll a natural.
It was a good guy, a good throw, Backusin. I've never done this before, but this is a fun sport.
I think I'll make it my hobby.
So I heard there's a prize, Backusin.
There is. You can take one item from my armory.
Okay. Well, we can do that later. We can do that now. It's up to you.
Come with me then.
All right.
I'll do it now, man.
But I don't want to be insistent. I mean, the guy's being very generous. So
You just won.
yeah, but there's no need to rub it in his face. You know.
Suck it, Backusin.
It's about being tactful when the guy who makes magical armory for like the Baron, you know, like you don't want to be rubbing it in his face. So yeah.
As you walk, he says, I have full plate. Swords, hammers, great swords, shields, but perhaps I have an item that might be more enticing to you than mere armaments. So as he's walking along, he kind of cracks his neck and says, once, many years ago, I attempted to make an item outside my normal purview. A staff of healing. The item is defective.
Defective.
Many staves will recharge. They will pull ambient mana into themselves in order to recast the spells that are stored within them. The staff has only a limited amount of healing left inside of it and will never recharge.
Did you guys follow me, or are you guys still back at the festival?
Yeah, we're with you. I'm with you anyway.
I'm like sitting on the hill where the log tossing was, trying to meditate and not throw up again.
I'm trying to hold Runa's hair back for when she throws up again.
Don't touch me.
So, like at this all this mention of magic, my character sort of zones out. He doesn't get what's going on. Rik-Jaxx, you listening? Rik-Jaxx, what is he saying exactly?
It sounds like he's trying to suggest to you to accept the staff of healing, but it's going to be of limited use.
So he chuckles and says, it's true. A magic sword might serve you for some time. This staff will run out, and when the charges are expended, it will disappear forever.
About how many charges does it have?
It has 5 charges remaining.
5 charges. Okay. And, well, what else you got? Rik-Jaxx, what do you think? We'll hear what he has, but...
A ring of protection.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
+1 to AC.
Oh, okay. That's something great.
A magic shield called the Spellbreaker.
Okay.
It draws magic ambient energy towards it. It is meant for paladins and the like. It will provide allies in the area with increased ability to avoid magical damage, while giving yourself a reduced ability to avoid magical damage.
I see. Okay.
I also have a single playing card you may draw from my deck of many things.
Oh shit!
Do it.
Head first.
Right, I'll draw from the deck.
Take care. The last man to draw from the deck of many things summoned forth a great reaper of souls. The Taker herself feasted upon his soul in the afterlife for his foolishness.
So you're not selling me on this deck of cards, then? Is that what
Much
you're saying?
and many things can happen when
Half
you
of them are
draw
good,
from
half
the
of them
deck.
Okay. Rik-Jaxx, what do you think?
I think you won the contest. You're going to have to pick something. But
Yeah.
There are only 13 cards remaining.
me personally, I think our party needs some healing.
Yeah.
But that ring of protection is looking pretty good too, and you earned it. You won, so you're going to have to pick.
Yeah. I'm tempted by the deck of cards, though.
Hey, you know what? No balls, no glory, right? Or whatever the saying is. So you never know. No guts, no glory.
That's no glory.
Well, if you
Once,
have no balls, you'll get no glory.
when I gained this deck's control, I drew a card from it. The Flame card. A powerful devil became my enemy. My entire village was killed. My entire family was diseased. For years, I battled it across the land until finally I smote it. And with its cursed blood, I gained some amount of magic that I might begin to make weapons of war to destroy the enemies of this land.
You know what? I think I'll take that staff you got there. Thank you.
Well,
very
you should
much.
note that you can't draw that card again. It has already been drawn.
I already drew the card?
No. So he's saying when you draw from a deck of many things, that card
Yeah.
disappears forever.
So now
So the
that
card
he's
he drew,
basically
they got
told
in.
you that 3 of those cards are no longer usable, so you have a higher chance of drawing a good card.
So there's normally 22 cards, but there's only 13 left in this card, in this deck.
Uh-huh.
And the fire demon thing is out of the mix.
Okay. But still, things like that could happen. That could totally end this playthrough.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah.
Totally end this campaign completely.
Oh, it wouldn't end the campaign. It would just end you, probably.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll draw from the deck. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Why not?
We got
If it's
some
just
playing
me,
cards here.
If it was the entire party, it's like I don't want to do that. But
Here we go.
yeah, I can
All
always
right.
be replaced.
Shuffle. Would you like to physically draw from the deck, or should I do it and just show you?
How do I physically draw from the deck?
Can you see the deck on the Roll20?
Yes.
You should be able to grab a card. You should, like, when you scroll over it, you should see a little card pop out.
Say draw.
You should be able to draw it and drag it and drop it onto the playing field. And then hit F to flip it over. A 6 of spades.
Clubs. That's a club.
Sorry, clubs is not one of the cards here. So draw another one. We'll just keep going until you hit one that is in the deck.
I think I have to reload it because I don't get any graphics myself.
That's
you
okay.
Can draw. You can draw.
Okay. All right. We'll just draw until you get something. 4 of spades is also not in the deck. I didn't have a deck of anything. King of clubs. That is in the... Oh, shit. King of clubs is called the Void. Almost certainly something with that name is not going to go well for you. Your soul is drawn from your body and contained in an object in a place of the DM's choice. One or more powerful beings guard this place. Your soul is trapped in this way, so your body is incapacitated. So as you're all watching, Kazador just falls over onto the ground. Rik-Jaxx. You see
Yes,
a void. You see a card with the you know, what is it called? The Tarot Void. And Beckerson is just like, should have gotten the staff. That's the Void card. His soul has been removed from his body.
All right. Yeah, I'm like flabbergasted, so I have to pick my jaw up. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Can the staff? Do you think the staff can heal my friend?
No.
No.
In order to restore him, you must find the object that his soul has been placed within and reunite it with his body.
You know, there was a party that went through town a little while ago. I think I'd like to join those guys. You know, with the big old paladin and stuff.
They're gone already.
Oh.
It is your responsibility now to transport your friend wherever he needs to go in order to find his soul.
And how do we track that down?
I have no idea. I make swords.
Whoa.
Once I killed a super powerful demon, but that was back in my heyday when I was 50 years younger. I suggest you find a powerful party of adventurers to adventure with.
For what it's worth, Connor, I really want to know what you drew too, so it's hard not to walk away from that. But
yeah, I know there's so many great cards, but there's also, you know, like almost a third of them are terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally worth the risk.
2/3 of them are not terrible.
2/3 of them are not terrible. I mean, in one of them, you literally just create a 4th level knight into existence who follows you around unquestioningly.
That would come in handy.
There was one that's just wish. You could just wish for anything and it happens.
Yeah, you get like 3 wishes.
Yeah. But that's not the one you drew.
No.
Yep. No. You got a super bad one.
It's pretty much the worst one.
So you guys are going to help me, right?
I don't know this has happened. I'm still like, huh?
Well, you'll find out once he brings my body back.
I'll lug his body back.
Can you carry Kazador?
I don't know. Probably not.
Kazador, what do you weigh?
Where does it say that?
He's like
I mean,
250.
you tell me.
It doesn't say it anywhere. You got to make it up.
Okay. I mean, I think a dwarf, he was like $150.
$1.75.
75, yeah, because, you know, he's stout.
Rik-Jaxx, can you lift up 175? I feel like this party spent so much time dragging the other party members around.
My max carry is 165.
Oh yeah, you're dragging him. Mortrick, as you're trying to hold Runa's hair back as she's vomiting, in between washing it down with more cider, you notice Rik-Jaxx dragging a unconscious. In fact, his skin's starting to go kind of pale, like he's dead. He's not moving at all, Kazador.
Like, Jesus Christ, I thought we came back to get away from this kind of stuff. I'm going to tap Runa on the shoulder and be like, I think we have to go to work again. And then walk with like sad Charlie Brown music over to Rik-Jaxx.
What happened?
I'll let you guys know. I don't even know what it was.
What did you do?
He had this card. He pulled this card from the deck that.
What deck?
What's his face?
Deck involved?
What did it say?
I'm good at cards.
I don't know anything about that. It was just some magical deck, and that was his prize for winning the toss. And he chose the deck instead of the Staff of Healing, which we really do need.
There was a Staff of Healing?
Well, yeah, with limited
What's
charges.
that idiot thinking? Does he not know that we almost died like 6 times?
And now he died.
And
I told
he's
him.
dead.
Yep, I told him.
Yeah.
So, can you guys carry him? He's really heavy.
Yeah, he looks super heavy. Runa, that's going to be you. I am a small, thin man.
I like pick his arm up and then drop it.
When you touch him, Runa, as you're about to let him go, you're drawn into that place that you saw when you were dead.
Say what?
All around you is lifeless gravel and dirt, and you hear the song of orcish people all preparing for war. And a great voice booms out over you. Runa.
Hello.
Is this thing on?
You celebrate life in the way that all orcs do. When you survive, you party hard. You sing songs and dance. You learn new ways of combat. You impress us with your orcishness. Runa, we, the spirits of all orc people, will now assist you in finding the soul of your friend that has been separated from the body. It is close at hand, the soul of Kazador. You will find it inside the watchtower. And you don't see anything. There's no body, but you feel something draw your gaze, almost as if there's an invisible gesture pulling you towards a window that turns into like a television screen, like showing this horrible, misshapen green pile of skin and ooze working in a laboratory over like flesh piles of zombies. And there are 3 zombies wandering around the room going, ugh. The staff that this druid bears, this cursed druid, is but little more than a mile from you. Your friend's soul has been trapped within it. Reunite him with the staff, and he will come back to consciousness.
Okay.
You have to break the staff. And then you drop Kazador's arm.
Holy shit. Guys, I know where it is.
Yeah. I'm sure you think you know lots of things. Why don't we need to get this rest taken care of? Do we need to like put him on ice? What happens? Like, do we need to bury him? I don't know. What do dwarves do?
No, we gotta take him with us so that when we break the staff, his soul will go back into his body.
Yeah. I really think you need to lay down. Maybe it's nap time for everyone. And,
but we need to do it soon or he won't live.
I think he's already not living.
Yeah, with the average level of medicine rolls that you've made in the past, Mortrick, you're pretty sure he's 100% dead.
He's gone. There's nothing left.
No, he's in a watchtower. We gotta get him, but we gotta take him also. Where's the cart?
Where is the cart? Because I need to bring my rugs back.
I'm all for the party, but he looks almost dead. Mostly dead.
There's a big difference between mostly dead and almost dead. All the way dead?
We should leave.
Where is the cart?
Soon.
We kept it at the inn, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, we kept it in front of the inn.
And we haven't long rested yet, right?
You have not.
We have not. I'm gonna start trying to get as much liquor down Runa as I can until she passes out. And then talk to Rik-Jaxx and be like, yeah, okay, but still, like, seriously, it's nappy time for all of us before we try anything.
Let's do it. Because are we on a timeline? Or is Kazador's body like okay?
Oh, his body will be perfectly fine. He will not age or have any problems until his soul is brought back to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a curse thing.
So your plan, just to be clear, is in the middle of the afternoon of the festival to get day drunk until you pass out, and then attack at night. Got it.
No. My plan is to get
day drunk. The start of this plan is to get day drunk.
Yeah, I mean that is happening. The second part is not to attack at night; it's to go in the morning. Like we're
all right,
take like a solid 12
I was just curious how Sex in the City we were going. The next morning, you wake up, except for Kazador. Kazador, I want to talk to you for a second, real quick here.
Dad.
It's rough for you, bud. You're a fucking staff now. You have no control over anything. You can't talk.
How do you go to the bathroom?
You can't go to the bathroom. Bathrooms don't exist for you. The concept of bathroom is foreign now. You don't have eyes. You just are a staff.
The feeling of being drunk is just slowly disappearing from memory. Because I was drunk from the apple ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you'll be drunk forever now.
You're a drunk staff.
Yeah.
Drunk staff.
Your drunkenness is stuck.
Staff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, then at least the perception of being a staff is sort of clouded by that.
So
I guess.
As you're there, it seems like minutes, hours, years could pass for all you know.
Right.
And then in the darkness, you just feel a presence.
Can I speak? Or
Kazador,
yes?
I hear you. I hear the pain of your soul crying out. I hear your drunkenness and your loneliness. I hear it all.
Where am I?
You are in the mountain.
What happened to me? I just pulled a card, and now I'm here. And
Your soul has vacated your body, Kazador. You are now exist only as a mind.
This is awful.
Literally the worst.
Kazador.
I think he played me for a fool with that deck of cards. Yes?
Someone must come to this mountain. For too long, I have lain dormant. For too long, my walls have been defecated and defaced and defiled.
Are you the second king?
I am the spirit of the mountain itself around you, infinite and everlasting, growing only taller. These people around you have no connection to stone, or to darkness, or to warmth. They think only of their sweet winds and the open sky. You, Kazador, you must bring dwarf kind back to my hallowed halls, so that the memories of the past are not forgotten.
I will do so. This is now my mission.
That's it.
Okay. Intense. Let's go.
Man, every time you guys die, I get to do like some weird spiritual shit, and you guys immediately accept it with no question. I'm gonna remember to have some like hag show up with the nightmare spell, and just be like, Mortrick, give me your credit card number, your name, the expiration date, and the 3 digits on the back. I'm the spirit of all bards.
I don't know why, but a Nigerian prince emailed me. He says he can get me a lot of money quick.
The 3 of you wake up sometime in the middle of the night, but just hang out until the morning, restless in the darkness. Upon waking and moving, the town is grim once more. In the night, someone was taken.
I could have told him that was going to happen. Never trust repo men from a low-level bard university.
What happened?
You got pretty good constitution, right? Yeah. You have a... Yeah, I feel like you could clear alcohol through your system pretty well.
Yeah, +2. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. You're mildly drunk, but you've had some hours to recover. It's not like it's Monday morning.
Guys, is Kazador by us?
Yeah, he's just frozen.
And I just like remember the dream, and I'm just like, guys, there's a watchtower, and Kazador's spirit is there. We have to get it back.
Hold on, we had this discussion last night. There's a what and a where?
Kazador's spirit was taken and put into a vessel, which is a staff in a watchtower not far from here.
And we have, well, I suppose.
So Ares, the innkeeper, pipes up and says, "You mean the giant watchtower that you keep going into?"
That's called the watchtower?
Yeah, it's a giant dwarven watchtower. Haven't you been climbing up the side of the mountain? You've got the climbing kits and all that stuff?
No, we just walked through the door.
What door?
There's a door.
The easily displayed door that I just walked up to.
It
was shining. Like, how does nobody see this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
She's so confused about what you're talking about. She's like, "Why do you have the climbing kits if you're not climbing to the watchtower?"
Reasons? You never know. We'd like to be prepared.
We like to keep our options open.
Yeah. So you're saying there's a watchtower at the top of that mountain, and if we climb it, we can get.
I think she means the mountain is the watchtower.
Yes, the mountain is the watchtower, but the giant statue at the top is also a watchtower.
There's a watchtower on a watchtower?
I mean, they're all one watchtower, aren't they? You know what they say, all flames are one flame.
Anyways,
who says
we need
that?
to go
That
there.
makes no sense. Why would someone say that?
But we
That's ridiculous.
we either have to bring Kaz with us and break the staff to release his soul back into his body, or we leave him here, go get the staff, and then come back.
If you leave him here and it passes past noon, I get possession of his body. That's the
I don't
law.
think we can leave him here.
Unless you want to pay ahead. I don't know what I'd do with the dwarf. Can I turn him into a mannequin or something? Kind of feels like
with him.
this is some shady illegal stuff here.
If you turn him into a mannequin, we know where like a fantastic set of armor is that you could hang on it.
No mannequins.
Spectacular.
Is it possible to hire some hirelings?
Oh, yes, it is. I'm glad you asked. When you mention hirelings, Ares is like, "I'm sure we can find some dumbasses to follow you."
Is there like an internship program? Because
It's just like, internship? What do you think this is? We have a couple of old men around town who don't have anything to do we can send with you.
That sounds like worse than having just the three of us.
Well, you want to cook and clean and carry your friend and wipe his ass?
So when are we hiring this guy?
They will be our official red shirts.
You can hire up to 8 men. They're all of age 40 plus in human years. They cost 2 silver pieces a day. They'll cook, they'll clean, they'll set up camp for you, but you have to bring your own camping equipment. They'll catch food for you. Typical hireling stuff. They will not fight for you.
I mean, we still have the money from that one dude, so I'd say we go for it.
Yeah.
How many hirelings would you like to hire?
8.
I'm gonna get all of them. Collect them all.
You head to the local guild and just bloop your money down. It's going to cost you 16 for today then. 16 silver pieces.
Oh, per person?
No, total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it. I still
2
have
per
that
person.
giant pool of cash.
Gotcha.
I'll just
Oh,
pay
yeah,
for
you drop a fat stack of cash on them.
16.
Yep. So, they all come out with what they believe to be hireling equipment, like thick vests, wide-brimmed hats, some fishing gear for some of them, foldable chairs, an umbrella or 2, and lots of, bacon.
Bacon!
Connor was like, "Bacon? Shit, I can't believe I'm unconscious."
Yeah, I'm missing out on all this.
Just feed him the grease.
I don't know if you guys need eight hirelings. I'll just say that. But
2 of them can carry Kazador.
yeah, 2, or is it probably all that's necessary?
I mean, we could take the cart. They don't have to carry him.
Right, but they're going to carry him when you're inside.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want the other 6 to do? Carry some torches for you? Sing your praises?
Torches, keep a lookout, maybe like a perimeter type of deal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Make sure you don't get ambushed from behind.
Yeah, maybe scout ahead for us.
I mean, because last time we
No. That's not a thing hirelings do. They don't scout ahead. They scout behind.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, you head back to the mountain, and I feel like this is a good place to stop for this week.
Yeah.
Kazador, you're
Before we
not
die.
dead yet.
You're just mostly dead.
I mean, technically, he could outlive all of you and reach the end of the universe.
You're right.
And I feel like that is like, there's a pretty good chance that is what happens.
And now this character has a purpose, when he comes out, because
Right.
that was the one thing that he heard in an endless, timeless void, and like sort of that's the only thing he can think about now. It's just echoing in his mind because he has nothing else to think about. Like he's almost forgotten his previous life at this point.
The mountain is there to talk to you anytime you want, by the way.
Okay.
It only says very mountainy things, which mostly involve talking about sand
And gravel.
and gravel and how much it hates goblins.
Yeah.
Fucking
They ruin
loathes those
everything.
little shits.
Well, Kazador hates goblins too, so. I mean,
You all
They have something to bond over.
You all get 115 experience points.
Yay.
Is that enough to kick you over to the next level?
Let's see here.
Wait, how much is it? 115?
No,
Yes.
it's not. We need 300. We're at
236.
236. Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough. Well, if you'd drawn the sun card, you could have gotten 50,000 XP. Kazador.
See? Like,
Damn it, Connor.
There are some sweet cards in there. It is.
Then you would have been a tank.
Maybe I should have. Rolled. Drawn the card myself and
I think what we
refresh
should
the
do-
window.
Is break into his house at night and each just draw cards until we get a good.
That's not how it works.
Oh boy.
That's the great thing about D&D. You make choices and then you get put into a staff.
Yeah.
What's our total XP?
236.
236.
36. Okay.
What's amazing is that Kazador technically qualifies as a magic item now. He is a sentient magic item with an ego.
Which, the body or the staff?
The staff, not the body.
Not the body.
The body is a lifeless husk.
I mean, considering it can live forever, maybe magical.
It's kind of magical, yeah.
I think
It's-
Mortrick, you should keep the staff. You need magic items, so
I do.
You need to get the staff first.
Every
just
so
never-
often, you just consult with Kazador.
Yeah, we just never
Yeah,
break
what's
it. How's the mountain doing, bro?
I'm gonna phone a friend real quick.
He's eroding over the years and centuries, slowly, half an inch in a millennia.
I mean, once you take the staff out of the mountain, you'll get the spirits of everything else in the area. Imagine talking to the spirits of all of your fellow companions. It would be like talking to them, but to their true souls. Mortrix would be exactly like him. I feel like that's a guy that has no guard.
Be hell
What
on
you
earth.
see is what you get.
Guys, things went wild here tonight. Real wild.
We're
The
live.
deck of many things.
It's a thing.
Always a mistake to
Yep.
to include it at any time, but always hilarious. Always hilarious.
At least we're alive. I mean, we didn't think we'd come out of this alive.
Look at these beautiful extras that we have here of Party 2, who I will now take command of. And you know how in Pokemon where Gary Oak shows up every time you're just about to get back to the healing center and challenges you to a battle when you're at your weakest?
Just like that.
That's who these
Just
guys are.
like that. These guys are your motherfucking Gary Oak now. You have your own rival team. They have a better reputation than you. Their big tank guy is almost twice the size of your big tank guy. It's rough. It's rough. Let's do some.
I knew I should have named him Dildo Baggins.
PlanetKhaos art. This is some wonderful art you've drawn for us. I feel like Rik-Jaxx had to pull some very heavy duty dragging dead bodies around today.
yeah, he's got some. Maybe he's like 12 strength now. He's moved up from 11 strength.
Not how that works.
Right.
When you hit level 4, that might happen.
Yeah.
Just keep working on those gains.
Just got to do what you got to do, I guess. But man, it sure will be nice when we hit level 2.
Oh my god, yes. Even level 3 even.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to the day we're playing Oakland dies or falls unconscious. Like that could be kind of new and exciting.
Well, that was fun.
I'll be honest. When all of you guys were knocked out, I was tempted to go say hello to the construct and just say, let's see what happens.
TPK.
Oh boy, it's rough. That's rough.
Let's start this party over.
You got any outro stuff to throw at us here? Any closing remarks?
Me?
Yeah.
PlanetKhaos here. You can always find me on Twitter, PlanetKhaos, or follow me on Instagram, PlanetKhaos_art. That's about it. So yeah, I did a bigger intro. I think my outro will be nice and simple. I'm just stunned by the night, to be honest.
It has been very stunning.
And quite a session.
Connor, Kazador, I just don't have words.
Yeah, that was rough.
Things took a weird turn.
He was so successful. I mean, he basically did so much, done so much damage. He's the only person to hit the construct. I mean, he won the tree logging festival. I mean,
so it all evened out in the end, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he has his ups and downs.
Kazador.
I mean, he's the star so far, I think.
I mean, insofar as he's the one that the whole party needs to go rescue. Yes.
Yes.
What's that thing about the dogs and the cat that travel across the Homeward Bound?
Oh yeah, amazing journey.
Yeah, and the home.
Yeah,
you guys are coming back to.
No, I feel like you're the old dog that falls into the lumber yard, and then the other dog has to go save him. And he does the voiceover, and he's like the original dog, so old and so wise. I couldn't leave him there.
Yeah, I forgot that part of that movie, and I watched that movie so many times.
What's the movie? What's the other movie where the guys are at the beach house and the owner of the beach house dies?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's. That's all I can think of now.
Hello, I'm Kazador.
Kazador rolls for initiative and gets a 20, so he goes first.
Kazador drools all over the.
Kazador offers advice from the staff. Connor,
yes, sir.
When you aren't picking unusual magic item choices that apparently you've been tempted. I mean, Bearded even was telling you, don't let the GM talk you into doing terrible.
Previous to that, he's like, "Oh, 3 bad cards."
That's true. It was like there were several bad cards removed from the deck.
I'm just giving you your options, my dude.
I'm also doing that.
I feel like Kaz puts a lot of pressure on Runa. You know,
he does.
Runa just lays the facts out there, and Kaz is like, "Why did you make me do that?"
Yeah,
I also
throwing guilt.
50,000 XP, one of them is just buckets and buckets of money. I think it's worth the risk, man. I think you made the right choice, Kaz. Mortrick.
Yeah, I still think so too. I think it was funny.
We just got to get you back in your body, you know.
But I'm not doing that. I am going to make the comics. And hopefully I'll be back on Twitch soon. I'm at twitch.tv/conorhughes. And that's also my username for Instagram. No, it's CNRHUS for Instagram and Twitter as well, Connor Hughes. So you can check me out there. Thank you very much.
Who's our artist next week?
I am.
Oh,
yep.
we saved the Mortrick for last, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Mortrick all the time.
All right. Well, we'll let you go now for your outro. But we'll let you go last on the outros next week.
Mccomicker, McComicker at Twitter, Instagram, and on Twitch. And I've been getting into the Mixer streaming because I love Microsoft, and I'm still a little sad I don't have a Windows phone anymore. And I thought it would be a good, therapy session, and it's actually been kind of nice, but not really the point. I'll be drawing next week. I love you guys. This game is so much fun.
I'm glad you feel that way. You definitely seem to have fun with it. That's for sure. Bearded, when you aren't playing someone who hates Mortrick? What are you doing?
Also playing someone who hates Mortrick. I'm usually drawing on Twitch at beardedjalapno on all of the social medias, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Yeah. I hope you guys had as much fun watching as we did playing, because I had a bunch of fun today.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah,
I'm sure the audience heard deck of many things, and
they were like, "Oh," they probably did what I did. Was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like. Yeah, you know what? This guy's like an old school badass. We'll give him deck of many things. There's no way they'll draw a card from that with that staff of healing right there. Let them get their feet wet with it.
Wouldn't want to take the easy way out.
Yeah, it was too simple. You know, the staff was just like, okay, this is too obvious. I don't know. I mean, like 5
A defective
charges?
staff or a magical deck? You got to make the winner's choice.
It was the defective that got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of like,
I'm not gonna buy something that's already broke.
Right? That's used. I don't want that.
yeah.
That's it. Are we good for next week? Everybody's
Yep.
on schedule to make it here.
Yep.
Yep. We'll be
Fantastic. We will be here. Next week is the episode where we rescue Kaz. I kind of feel like that's every week.
Yeah.
But not Kazador specifically. I feel like we're always just rescuing people in general.
Next week is going to be the episode where Runa, Mortrick, and Rik-Jaxx go down, and Kazador has to save everyone. And then the week after that, Runa's going to be the only one that's still left.
Look, you see, this whole thing's actually staged. That's why we don't show the dice rolls. We just put everyone's name in a hat, and we draw one person to go down and one person to save.
Keeps
That's
the
it.
show exciting.
We'll be back next week, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, take care.
Later, guys.